In what could be the most shocking news of the decade, Merrick Garland and the Justice Department has decided to actually do something. They've sued to block JetBlue's pending acquisition of Spirit Airlines, which the DOJ rightly argues could be anti-competitive. So the DOJ released a statement yesterday explaining their reasoning. They state that the merger violates something known as the Clayton Act, one of the United States' main pieces of antitrust legislation. And the DOJ also argues this, that the deal would eliminate half of ultra low cost airline capacity in the United States. Remember, Spirit Airlines does offer a torturous yet affordable option for flyers. And I say torturous because they just make it miserable to fly. Like the seats are smaller, you've got no room, you have to pay extra for like things that you typically wouldn't pay extra for, that kind of stuff. But it's still a more affordable option. It's important to have that competition within the market.
Well, really fast, would they be shutting it down and just using its capacity? I thought that they would just be taking over it. Maybe rebranding as a JetBlue value or something.
No, they would take over, and it kind of like
you think necessarily the prices would go up?
Like
because there'd be less competition. Sure.
Alaska Airlines, for instance, bought Virgin. Which was disastrous.
Oh God, I hated that.
Yeah, it was disastrous. So when you don't have multiple companies operating like the same, routes and all that stuff. Then the companies that have a larger market share get to up their prices. Now, so Spirit Airlines, as many of you probably know, has built its business model around offering lower prices, and so the DOJ is arguing that it's important to maintain that. Spirit has already doubled its network size in the last 10 years, and it's still growing. The merger would nip that competition in the bud. Also, there are 40 direct routes where Spirit and JetBlue dominate so much of the air travel that the deal would give the merged company too great of a market share. These are all great points. Good. These are all accurate points. I want more of this, more of this. Like, if you're not going to charge someone like Donald Trump or any of his cronies for the criminality that they engaged in, I'm willing to forgive you for that if you actually look out for consumers. I mean, I know, I hear you, but like do something of substance, please, I'm begging you.
Well, and apply this to tech companies and telecom companies and all of that, where in many cases they've allowed major mergers to go through in the past 10 years or so.
That's right, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, well, look, I'm glad, especially because flight is already so fraught in a million different ways. Even if you can get a ticket, you can get on, it's so expensive, it's insanely expensive. I'm taking a trip in the next week, and it's at least 50% more than it would have been just 5 years ago.
I'm taking a trip tonight. Just
that's cheaper, I guess.
$20 for a pack of edibles.
I don't think Judge regulates that.
Oh yeah, that's
or
right.
Trains. Anyway, from the point of view of JetBlue, obviously, I think that the official messaging has to be that this is bad.
Of course. No.
Yeah, but I do think that there's a silver lining. When they're thinking about what sort of acquisitions to make. You do your due diligence and all that, and you take a look at something like Spirit and you think, well, we're way bigger, it's not that expensive. But then you find out that like if you want a second copy of the contract, you have to pay more, and they're not gonna let you use your own pen, you gotta buy a pen from them. And it's just they nickel and dime you on the deal, and it's just not worth it in the end. They'll paint half of the plane the JetBlue colors, but then you have to supply the paint for the other half.
So
it just doesn't add up.
Don't give them ideas. So JetBlue, by the way, is planning on appealing this. They're fighting back. They believe that no, this merger, us acquiring Spirit, is actually going to be a big win for the consumer. It might actually lead to lower prices.
Oh my God. That's why they're doing it.
Don't insult our intelligence, okay? When you don't have competition, that means you get to charge higher prices because you don't have to worry about competing with someone who's offering lower prices. We all know how this works, we're not stupid.
Just everything with flying is a scam.
Yes.
So we all know that like flying on Spirit isn't great. I don't have a lot of money, so I have flown a lot on Spirit in the last few years. And they do nickel and dime you on everything. The thing about flying on Spirit that blew me away though is you expect that you're not gonna have a lot of room. And for someone like me, that means that my knees are gonna be against hard plastic the whole time. You expect that you're gonna be on a super uncomfortable chair. But you also expect that there's gonna be a tray table. And in place of like a normal cafeteria tray basically is what it is, they had this little like jagged piece of metal that was like this big. It was made of metal. It had to cost more than a plastic tray table. I think it was there to spit in your face. So you can't even fit a Diet Coke can on here. And it's metal, so if there's a crash, you're just gonna be cut right in half by it. It was like an intentional insult. And then really fast, I was supposed to fly for the holidays. And it was crazy flying to the East, all that stuff with Pete Buttigieg and everything. So they gave us a $350 voucher to replace the flight that we lost or whatever. So I need to take this flight. I found a flight, $655. And I was like, oh good, well once you take away the $350, then it's not that bad. So I called them up and turns out, Expedia, who gave us the thing.
Oh no.
They don't use.
Oh no.
You know where I got that $655 price? From Expedia.com. You know who doesn't use Expedia.com? Expedia. So I called them up and talked to them. They have their own internal price, which, what do you know, is way more expensive than their publicly available price. But don't worry. You get the $350 off. Well, sorry, you get a $99 fine for using it, but then you get the $350 off. So in the end, rather than the $655, do you know how much they were gonna book that flight for?
How much?
$637, $18 cheaper.
Oh my God. But
so I didn't even do it.
Good news is Pete Buttigieg is on it.
He's on it, just like the trains.
He's regulating everything, except he's not.
It's such a scam, every bit of it. Nationalize the airlines, honestly.
That's super infuriating. By the way, just big tip for all you travelers out there. I actually like those websites to book hotels because sometimes you can find like a promo code or a coupon code and like the price of the hotel, you get a little lower, right? A little sweet, pretty sweet. Don't book your flights through Orbitz, Expedia, whatever Priceline. Just don't do it. Go directly to the website for the airline that you want to book.
Well, in this case, I was using Expedia because that's what the voucher was for. So I had to use it.
No, I know, but the initial flight that you booked.
I don't know. I didn't book it. My wife did.
God, that's so infuriating.
It's crazy.
I would lose my mind over that.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's awful. And the thing and what it highlights for people who are in the know about how our system really works is that our elected lawmakers let it happen.
Yeah.
Because they're paid to let it happen.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.